Why, hello there, YouTube, and welcome. So, we're halfway through the year now. It's July. So, I thought now would be a good time to, like everyone else, I thought I would do my top 5 best and worst horror movies of this year so far. So, it's all my opinion. If you have your own, share down in the comments. So, let's start with the worst so far. So, my number 5 worst horror movie of this year so far is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They basically looked at the writers of Halloween and thought, hey, can we copy your homework? I mean, this dropped to Netflix. I mean, yeah, I like that it was a sequel to the 1974 film and the idea of it retconning all the sequels. But basically, they tried this a second time for this franchise and it just did not work. I mean, yeah, just not the best one. And I didn't really. I look at it now and I even gave it a second viewing and I thought, yeah, it hasn't gotten better. But it did have a good moment in there, such as the bus kill scene. That was, one of the best parts of the film. But yeah, I don't think they could get Gunnar Henson and Marilyn Burns back if they were still alive to reprise their roles in this one. My number 4 pick is The Northman. So, yeah, I think that there is some strong horror elements in there. It's from Robert Eggers, who's done 2 great horror movies so far, but this is probably his worst so far. I mean, I thought it was boring and it dragged on and it was on a lot longer than it needed to. I mean, I got fidgety with this, I got bored, I looked on my phone. First viewing, I couldn't even finish it. I mean, just not a brilliant film. That's just in my opinion. But there's people out there that probably liked it a lot more than I did. So coming in at number 3 is Morbius. Yeah, I like to think this is horror as well because it's got vampires in it and horror elements. And yeah, again, I found it a bit of a snooze fest. Jared Leto, this time dipping into Marvel property, and I think one of the good bits about it was the post and mid-credit scene in this. Well, the mid-credit scenes in this film, because everything else I thought it was just not brilliant. Also, it got delayed countless times, so that probably led to it, knowing it was going to be a failure. Coming in at number 2 is Choose or Die. Now, I like the aspects of this one. Had a very Black Mirror-y vibe, but yeah, it just wasn't a brilliant movie. I mean, it was okay, just not brilliant. But, yeah. Probably one of those I had to watch it more than once, but couldn't be arsed the second time. And my number 1 is Firestarter. A remake of an 80s film. It just was not that good. I like that it went darker. I like the John Carpenter score, but just not the best film in the horror genre of this year so far. So that is my number 1 worst. Now let's get to my top 5 best horrors of this year so far. So coming in at number 5 is Studio 666. Foo Fighters playing themselves with just wacky rock stuff going on with the devil and Satan. It was a fun watch. I personally liked it. So yeah, I like that one. Number 4 is Fresh, which dropped on Disney Plus Star in the UK, and I enjoyed this one. Bizarrely, it made me feel rather hungry, craving for some spaghetti and meatballs. Sebastian Stan does a great performance in this. The young woman in this was also great. There were some very gruesome, quite unsettling moments in there. It was also a comedy as well, but yeah, I I very much enjoyed it. You know, like when I watched it, it was like a romantic sort of comedy. But then half hour in, I was like, what? That was just the opening of this film. I was like, wow. And then we had another hour and a half or so of horror, you know, torture stuff. And I liked it. It really did surprise me. Coming in at number 3 is Scream. So I always have a love for the Scream franchise. And I like that this honoured the previous movies whilst also, you know, respecting Wes Craven. I didn't think it could work without him, but you know they actually took a risk, and I think it didn't backfire on them. I mean, we had a new generation of cast people in there, including the return of Skeet Ulrich, de-aged, of course, as a hallucination in his character's daughter's mind. You know, we got the return of the original 3. You know, Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette. Hugh Shocker in there. And yeah, we're getting another one, I believe. So yeah, I'm down for that. Yeah, I mean, I think just when you think the franchise might be running stale, it's found a way to revitalize itself, I think. Number 2 is X. Yes, I just like this one. You know, written, directed by Ty West. Mia Goth playing 2 parts in that. You know, Maxine Minxon and the creepy old woman, Pearl. I was like, what? She played 2 roles in that? That's after I watched it, and yeah, A24. They got some good stuff coming out from them at the minute. I mean, a few non-good ones, but still, this one is one of their best films of this year so far. You know, when a group of people go out to make an adult film at this ranch, and then the couple there that own it are just psychos. And then my number 1 pick so far of this year is The Black Phone. Ethan Hawke with that mask, so chilling. I mean, based on a short story by Stephen King's son, Joe Hill. And, you know, him communicating with his past victims with the phone. It's just, yeah, it's still fairly new, so I don't want to give too much away, but it is definitely my favourite film of this year so far. Horror film, anyway. So there you go. There have been my top 5 worst and best horrors of this year so far. What do you think? What's your top 5? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and to hit that notification bell if you're new here. You know, no pressure, the choice is all yours. But anyway, I've been Random Ross. This has been my top 5. I've already told you what the name of the video is. So yeah, until next time, don't have nightmares.